Hi guys, welcome to today's video. And Dupes, as you saw in the title, I am going to be doing a SUBCULTURE palette. There is quite a bit of controversy surrounding this palette. So my palette happens to be one of the ones that is a dud. Quite a bit of controversy surrounding this palette. So my palette happens to be one of the ones that is a dud. The Instagram story that Anastasia released yesterday, I've only used it 3 times. The eyeshadows, and that's what I emulated into story that Anastasia I'm not a swirler in general. I'm more of like a toucher. The eyeshadows, and that's what I emulated into today's tutorial. I'm not a swirler in general. I'm more of like a the shade Cube in particular. Shadows, and it looks as though I have just swirled these to the death. It does the shade feel as though it's a cream shadow. It's not dry. It's like wet. That very much feels like a ColourPop shadow, which I don't know what's going on there. Shadow. It's not dry. It's like wet. Ignore what I'm saying. Very much feels like a ColourPop shadow, which I was trying to apply it on there on a brush, and it was not happening. Then ignore what I'm saying. But it does feel like and touch the shadow, and it just I was trying to apply it with a flat brush, and it was not happening. I tried to press it back in, fluffy brush, and touch the shadow, and it just crumbled. Not so great. I did press into it. I tried to press it back in 4 times before it just kind of like crumbled out. And it did just crumble out like that. So that was something that I thought was weird. 4 times before it just kind of like crumbled out, and it did just crumble out like that. So that was something that I thought was weird. It's just all over the shade Roxy has the most fallout, which darker ones also have quite a bit of fallout. It's just all over the rest of the shades. Not these shades here. These darker ones also have quite a bit of fallout. Love that shade. It's just I'm like whatever. I'll use it anyways. I love a good peachy apricot type of shade, but the fallout is intense. I'm like whatever. I'll use it anyways. I love a good peachy apricot type of shade. Those are all so pretty. They really have a ton of pigmentation behind them. I will say though that Edge, those are all so pretty. Really have a ton of pigmentation behind them. I will say though that the best way I can explain the way it ends up looking is as if you applied primer and didn't set the primer like at all. The best way I can explain the way it ends up with the matte shadow, almost as if you applied the primer and didn't set the primer like at all, and down and then does it with the matte shadow, which is really almost as if you applied the matte shade wet. I probably and it kind of sticks down and then doesn't because I don't own anything, which is really weird because I really love the shade. And then in terms of shades that I just was like trying to giving up and don't like, I don't own anything else like this. Axis, very and then in terms of shades that I just was like I'm giving brush off don't like palette to get off the excess. The first time I use the palette, very difficult to work with. It has a crack in it from where I tap my brush off on the palette to get off the excess. And when I apply it, it's so pigmented, which is awesome and great. And then I'm like, okay, this dip into it the tiniest bit, and when I apply it, it's so pigmented out, which is awesome and great. And then I'm like, okay, this is gonna blend from that original shape. Let me get down very intensely as I go to blend it out. I did get it to move around on this side, but that was after original shape and swirling down very intensely. I did get it to move around like this side, but that was after swirling and swirling, and then of course that leads to a messy. If you were to go in and try to like build it up into the shape you want it to be, it would obviously be so messy still. So doesn't look good. If you were to go in and try to like build it up into the shape you want it to be, it would obviously be kind of lacking in pigmentation. Just creased a little bit. Very difficult shade to work with. Not a shade I would dip into. Adorn electric, kind of lacking very hard to build up to intensity. Creased a little bit, not just not a shade I would dip into. And electric palette is very hard to build up to intensity. Like a setting spray over them to apply and glitter wet or the matte. This wet electric shade, they just putting like a setting spray over them to apply. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Obviously, wet electric shades, they stunning. There are a lot that I will still continue to use, but in regards, so yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Should you get it? Stunning. There are a lot that I will still continue to use, but in regards to the question everyone's asking is, should you get it? Kind of changes or represses the formulation until the next few months. I would not suggest buying it at this moment in time. Kind of changes or represses the formulation over the next few months. I found that helpful. Suggest buying it at this moment in time. There's obviously something a bit kind of palette. Yeah, I hope you guys found that helpful. But yeah, let's just let me know your thoughts on the palette below. I'm gonna begin by priming my eyes with the kind of palette Eden Potion. I'm just gonna swipe this on, pat it out into the tutorial and set it. I'm gonna begin by priming my eyes with Cover FX Eden Potion. I'm just gonna swipe this on. The first shade I'm going to be taking is Edge, and I'm going to be taking lightly with the Cover FX Cosmetics number 8 brush, and just lightly. The first shade I'm going to be taking is Edge, and I'm then just going to blend this back and forth right in number 8 brush. and just lightly tapping some of this onto it.
I'm using the lightest. Just going to blend this back and forth. This shade has previously oxidized on me, and I'm using the lightest touch because this shade
so it's starting to do it again.
Oxidized on me, but there's already darkness here, a dark line here, and so it's starting to do it again. I don't know if you can see it. There's no point in trying, in my opinion, to really work at that and blend it out. It's not going to happen, so I'm just going to diffuse the edges. There's no point in trying, in my opinion, to really work at that and blend it out. It's not going to happen, so I'm just going to diffuse the edges and leave it as I didn't set my eye primer. Not the best too patchy, payoff, but it definitely looks as though I didn't set my eye primer. I am not too surprised. Not the best payoff, oxidizing, so I used about using this is my third time. I am not too surprised. And here's a little example of how it's oxidizing, so I used about the same exact amount on each eye. This one. Next, I'm going to be taking the shade Roxy and just doing the same thing, dipping into it and tapping off the excess. Next, I'm going to be taking the shade Roxy and what Anastasia's Instagram video recommended and press this onto my lid. This is a Sigma E. I'm just going to do what Anastasia's Instagram video recommended and press this onto my lid. This is a Sigma E 45. Really soft. This shade isn't too bad, but it will not mix and mingle with the shade above it. There's still that white line in the middle there, but it will not know what is happening. I don't know why it's doing that. With the shade above it, there's still that white line in the middle there, and then kind of I don't know what is happening. I don't know why it's doing together, and it's really the same technique I always do, where I just pulling and kind of pull here in the crease right there to help fade things together, and it's really looking like it might just be pulling the shade off of my lid right there. Just gonna fade out the edges. On this eye, I'm gonna try going back and forth in the crease to see if it helps them meld together better. On this eye, I'm going to try to do this on the other eye because these shades are so powdery that the meld together better quickly. So back and forth was okay because these shades are still not the smoothest blend, but not as bad as this eye. So back and forth was okay. So I'm just going to soften out the edges now, but not as bad as this eye. I'm going to be taking this shade here, which I believe, so I'm just going to soften out the edges now, and not a lot of fallout with this one. I'm just going to press it here, which I believe into the outer corner. Not a lot of fallout with this one. Just going to press it into the outer corner. Then just going to lightly blend this, which it doesn't look like it's wanting to blend. I'm just going to lightly at all. Just going to try to lightly blend this shade out. Wanting to blend. I'm noticing the more I blend it, the more it's just going to try to lightly blend the other shades beneath it. I'm noticing the more I blend it, the more it's giving me a very this is the other shades time doing which is a bit smoky outer wing vibe, and I don't know how down this is my first time doing a smoky outer wing vibe, and I don't know how down with that I am. I'm going to go back in with a little bit of edge just to try to melt these shades together a bit better. I'm going to go back in with a little bit of edge just to try to melt these shades together a bit better. Okay, so what I'm noticing now is like it looks as though I kind of carved out this blue color here. Okay, so it's just not what I'm noticing now is like it looks as though I kind of again is really odd given that I set my eye because it's just not to blend. It immediately stuck down now, which again is really odd given that I set my eye. It's refusing to blend. Right on this side, I'm just going to try now living up to her namesake and just hanging out at the edge of the blue. Right on this side, I'm just going to try to blend it like this from the get-go and see if it helps it at all. This is giving me anxiety. Going back in with a little bit of edge. Gonna swirl it this time and see if it makes a difference. So it's not bad, not as bad as I thought it would be. There's some patchiness, but at least the shade. So it's not bad, not as bad as I thought it would be. I don't know what this. There's some patchiness, but at least the shade. But at least over here it's more blended. Like this, I don't know what this. Dipping into the shade Dawn here. But at least over here it's somewhat putting this in the brow bone area. Alright, I'm going to be dipping into the shade Dawn, like this brow bone crease region. Putting this in the brow bone area to help blend out the shades, like this brow bone crease region. Just going to take a little bit more, do the same thing to the right eye. That's getting a little better. Just going to take a little bit more to this side. I'm going to go in swirling motions to the right eye. Hopefully this can salvage this side. I'm going to go in swirling motion. I know I use different techniques on each eye. I'm fine that they look a bit different from one another. I know I use different techniques. I don't even know. I'm fine that they look a bit different from one another. Not happening for me. As you're aware, I don't even know anymore. I'm just a little bit shocked that I'm using such a small amount of product. As you're aware, the most delicate I've ever been in my entire life, and I'm using such a small amount of product and being like the most delicate I've ever been. On the lower lash, just going to take a bit more of edge, dust it along here. Mix it in with this. On the lower lash, just going to take a bit more I have going on. And for what it's worth, I'm cleaning this brush. Mix it in with this epic amount of application I have going on. And for what it's worth, I'm cleaning this brush between. Just going to try to dust away some of this application. Minimize how far down this whatever shade. Just going to try to dust away some of this fallout. Since it already looks kind of green, I'm going to dip into Destiny a little bit, which is a little bit fucked up from the last time I used it. I apologize. Since it already looks kind of green, I'm going to dip into Destiny a little bit, which is outer corner, and the last time I used it, I apologize. Tie it up into the blue. Just going to dust some of that at this outer corner and tie it up into the blue. Oh my good God. Okay, I'm done. Done trying with that shade. On the inner corner, I'm going to be taking the shade Cube, the shade... Okay, I'm done. Done trying with that shade. On the inner corner, I'm going to be taking the shade I don't mind this one, but it's very subtle, and I noticed that it was a bit wet. I don't mind this one, but it's very pressing it back into the pan. Very subtle, and I noticed that it was a bit wet. Alright, I am done with the palette. I popped off mascara, popped off the screen to apply some mascara just to finish it off. I popped overall, I was just getting one popped off the screen, very messy. Some mascara just to finish it off. Overall, I was just getting one. And on top of that, the shades had so much fallout that, as you saw, they were out because things weren't burning out. What wanted them to work with. On top of that, for me, it wasn't so much fallout that, as you saw, I felt like I kind of was able to work around that. It was just difficult to work with. For me, it wasn't necessarily overall though. The colors, I felt like I kind of was able to work around that. It was just a very grungy summer vibe. Overall though, the colors, the way the eye looks, I really like this. I was going for a very grungy summer vibe. Really wish that the yellow shade edge would have popped through a bit more. I felt like it would have been really nice. So yeah, just gonna finish my face off camera really quick and had to blend her away to get some semblance of
to the dupes. These are mostly similar dupes. A few of them are very exact, very spot on, and there are a few of them that are quite different. These are mostly similar dupes. I did not have a few of them are very exact, very spot on, and there are a few of them that are quite different. One in particular I did not have a dupe for, so I recommended you guys a very dupe, so I did the best I could. On the eyes though, for the most part, that makes sense. Oddly though, this palette was a bit difficult to do, so I did the best I could. Slightly different on the eyes though, for the most part. First up is the shade Cube. This is one of the shades I could not find a close dupe for, so I went with Phantom and Rockstar. First up is the shade Cube. This is one of the shades I could not find a close dupe for, so I went with Phantom and Rockstar by Makeup Geek. Phantom has a pink duochrome to it as well, but the pink very creme brulee by Makeup Geek is a really great dupe for the shade Gray base with a quite similar, just slightly different. I would say Dawn is more of a neutral peach, whereas Creme Brulee is dupe for the shade Dawn. It's quite similar, just slightly different. I would say Dawn is more of a neutral peach, whereas Creme Brulee green, whereas High Tea is similar to Destiny. Destiny is Bliss by Ofra, military green, whereas High Tea to Adorn. Adorn is more of a true copper, whereas Bliss Ofra is a really great alternative, especially in the reflect. Adorn is more of a true copper, whereas Bliss Cherry Cola is a really spot on to it, especially in the reflect. All-Star is slightly more red, and Cherry Cola is just slightly more is a really spot on dupe for All-Star. Barcelona Beach by Makeup Geek is very similar to Mercury. It's just more sheer. It's not as intense as Mercury. Barcelona Beach by Makeup Geek is very similar to Mercury. It's just more sheer. It's not as intense as Mercury. Is nearly identical to Axis. I will say that Time Travel is more blue-gray based, whereas Makeup Geek Time Travel is nearly identical to Axis. I will say that Time Travel is more blue-gray based, whereas Axis has more pinky red, whereas IOU by ColourPop is almost identical to Roxy. Makeup Geek just slightly more pinky red, whereas exact same shade, more pigmented, however, whereas Electric is slightly less pigmented and has some weird glitter Electric, exact same shade. I was gonna do Fudge pigmented, however, whereas single pan because it's way better, but I wanted to give you a similar option. The shade Tan Lines by Makeup Geek. I was gonna do Fudge with tonal similar color pan because it's way better, but I wanted to give you a similar option. The shade Tan Lines by Makeup Geek Chickadee is nearly similar color. It's just slightly lighter. It's just barely lighter, but honestly, Makeup Geek Chickadee is nearly Enchanted Forest, again, nearly identical to the shade Untamed, lighter, but slightly more green, but not enough to really Enchanted Forest, again, nearly identical to the shade Untamed. I couldn't find anything for the shade Edge. That shade is quite a unique greeny olivey mustard, a shade that has a similar vibe. I couldn't find anything for the shade Edge. That shade is quite a unique, still has that edgy, olivey mustard vibe to it. A shade that has a similar vibe is Desert Sands by Makeup Geek. It's more pretty much the exact same shade as Rowdy. If anything, Rowdy is slightly more red in it, but I really cannot spot the difference. That is all I have. Pretty much the exact same shade as Rowdy. If anything, Rowdy is slightly more red in it, but I really cannot spot the difference. That is all I have for you guys today. Really hope you found this video helpful. I hope that you do get caught up in touch this palette in person to different opinions, but what matters most is what you think about it and how it works for you. To get caught up in all of everyone's different opinions, but let me know what you want to see next, and we'll talk in my next video. So just keep that in mind. Really hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you want to see next, and we'll talk in my next video.